What do you do all day?
Work. I'm in chemicals.
Oh,
And then outside that,
Sounds
sand,
dangerous.
cutting grass, trash out, stay busy.
yeah.
Yeah, Nate, Andre, business partner, he works for me on the grass, all the grass stuff I'm telling you about. That's what I'm usually rolling with.
There you go.
And then the trash outs and everything.
Yeah, someone's in.
Nice.
So Jeff Wallace.
Yeah,
So I got two in
he's from my gym. Yeah, Yeah.
Cool.
I added him to our email list. He does a lot of things I love to connect him with.
I'll let him enter. I know we're not started yet, but should we?
Pizza.
Do you want to grab food before I kind of open up? Oh, he kind of exited out.
Doesn't matter to me. I figure people
Okay.
will come.
Oh, there we go.
People will come and go and grab food.
What's up, Jeff?
That's what's going on. Yeah, there's obviously sort of
I
pizza.
cannot see you or hear you.
Yeah, so that's the way.
Okay.
Grab food.
Be right back.
Definitely.
Yeah, hello?
Oh, I hear you.
All right.
That's
Let me go ahead.
All right, just turn the volume up.
All right.
What's up, man?
Not much at all. Not much at all. I haven't had a chance to come to one of these meetings. I know I've talked with Sam about a lot about it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Cool, cool. I'm Nate. Good to meet you.
Oh, no,
Hey, nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, I help run things with Sam. So
Yeah, yeah. You know, I actually just recently moved at the out of the Quad Cities. I've been down in Mount Pleasant now.
oh, really? Okay. What are you doing there? You're out of the country.
I'm an assistant professor of criminal justice.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
incredible.
I'm doing that down there now at the University of Iowa Wesleyan, and I'm also
Okay.
the diversity coordinator. So,
Cool.
yep.
Very
So
cool.
I know before I used to see Sam a lot, and I hadn't had a chance to actually come here. So yeah, how you doing, Sam?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
You know, I can't complain.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, but no, I added you to our email list, so I figured at the very least you'd
Yeah,
get.
I appreciate it. Well, I don't think I had a chance to tell you, man. I know I hadn't seen you at the gym because I actually moved to Mount Pleasant.
Oh, word?
Yeah, so I'm down here. I'm the assistant professor of criminal justice down here. So
Nice.
and also, huh?
I said nice. Is that at Southeastern Community College?
No, at Iowa Wesleyan University.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but I
That's
definitely
neat.
wanted to come check it out because I know you
I
had
got
to
a
talk
couple of
about
Wesleyan
it, and I
interns.
know your mindset, and I know. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So.
Yeah. Exciting. So you don't even need the explanation of what this is.
I got a good idea just from what he was explaining to me, and
Cool.
just about people connecting with ideas, people connecting with
Exactly.
different motivations and stuff like that, and different causes. And yeah, I'm all about that. So
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm gonna grab some pizza. I think we'll get started here probably in about 5 minutes, maybe a little longer. There's a couple of people coming in still too.
Sure. I may log out the camera from time to time just so
That's
you know,
fine.
but I'm gonna be able to hear them.
That's
All right?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
You're gonna hear 2 days in a row.
I know, hi.
Hi, welcome
My-
to the space.
Yeah, my friend owns the Mavita Lash on the second floor.
Oh no way!
Mhm.
Yeah,
Diana.
with the. Oh wow, that's.
Small world.
It is.
Hey, what's up?
You have a lot of business
So
partners,
yeah,
Sam.
down here.
I met Andre.
Hey.
Hi.
So,
I am here just to listen and observe today. I have homework due at midnight.
That's
so I'm
fine.
just kind of supporting.
go forward.
Make sure you want to sign in.
What do you have to do?
I have every Thursday I have to read, like by Thursday I'm supposed to read
So how have you
chapters of
been?
the text. So
Good.
get those
I
questions
just met with
right.
Lindsay yesterday. We opened up an account for this.
And then there's-
What?
Discussion question.
Lady said she was gonna come.
Oh, great.
We're good. We went to a networking event a month ago back at the Whiskey Stop, and it's been coming along.
How are you?
Yeah, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Yeah, you can get some eyesight on where we'll be doing pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Great. Yeah. We wanna. have you take pictures of us over at the gym over across the river. Yeah, that's
That's
my
a good
favorite part.
spot too.
Yeah, no, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love the spot and the location. Yeah. Hey, remember those pictures I got that I showed you those one time, professional ones?
Yeah.
That's the photographer that did them. That's the one that we should get from. Where we do our
Yeah.
shots and stuff.
I had a lot of females interested in you.
Me?
They're like, what's his name?
Oh, no.
I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, God,
I'm
Rose.
gonna have to ask him first. But
We-
no,
we
I
missed
had
you.
like 5 girls.
We missed you at the networking event, though.
Oh,
We really
No,
did.
I had school.
I mean, I know, but you're
Oh.
not working with TBK anymore, too. I know are you full time?
No, I'm part time.
I'm not saying with your photography. You still have a studio.
I
I
still,
still wanna-
rent it. Yes.
I still want to get those other shots I was telling you about.
Just let
Yeah.
me know.
I have the pictures. I'll probably show you soon. I might delete them. I
Okay.
remember it was on the crown, on the throne. That's pretty
I
much
remember.
all. That's the only thing I really need.
Yeah, just let me know.
Is that what you're here for?
Sign the sheet.
Photography.
Yep.
No, I'm
We're trying to track
here for a
metrics
little
and
bit
track
of everything. I have like 3 different jobs, so.
That's what I'm here
You are. You do a lot.
No, we all.
Yeah, so if you have kids, join my Girls on the Run. It's for empowerment for girls.
Aw.
Yeah.
Is there a page for that?
Well, we go into the school, so just depending on what school.
We can connect you with. We have a girl that's at Moline High School and
Oh, it's only middle school.
middle school. She might
Do
know.
you have some flyers or something?
Yeah.
I will
Learn.
have,
Send
I'll
us.
be going to the schools next week giving flyers, because
Okay.
it just depends if there's a trainer at that location. I know we have a few schools. We just had 7.
Your phone. Hey, your phone's not working.
Dude, I had to restart it. I was getting messages from everybody.
I need to grab those photos off your phone more too.
That's like mine.
So what?
Well, one of them, but-
So it's still doing it.
But that's like what I want.
So it's still doing that.
That's why I'm trying here. Because I need to figure out how it's like the country can make it.
See, I signed in.
That's really.
All right, I signed in, bro.
You signed it?
Face-to-face kind of person, like, I wanted to do the farmer's market, but it's so much like cost for me to like that and frame and print. And then I don't know if I'm gonna
Let's
get
go ahead and
my money back really.
We can go ahead and get started.
But
Yeah.
Then I was
I'm gonna
like, I
bite
could
this
do
off real
online, but I was like watching a couple YouTube videos,
I'll
of, like,
use this.
but I didn't know how taxes work.
So if you want to create
Sign in when you get a
LLC
chance.
or a company,
I'll get some
Western,
pizza later.
the
I will actually
Small Business Bureau, there is
It's
2
not gonna take
workers
me till
there.
10 p.m.
One's
No, I set that time, but
If we go somewhere and drink after this, that's like.
Yeah, that's
that'd be
usually what
a
we
start.
do. We'll end up and we'll pop out.
She's gonna tell you to
I don't even
open
think
up
it
a
goes in
sole
the house.
I took tomorrow off work, so I wanted to make sure that I got out of the house, even though I have one more to do.
only
Mhm,
for
mhm.
that liability issue.
Also, all of this
Probably
is
try
kind
to
of common
persuade
sense. It's like it's talking about confidentiality and
But
acceptance
she
to that, and like that is literally every day. of my job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can give you, I can
She'll
give,
send emails
have so
to
many papers from
banks or institutions have like
on how Venezuela
scholarships,
is
like right now,
ridiculous.
there's a woman
Lorraine will be
starting a
here.
business, there's like a $5,000.
Lorraine's coming?
Yeah.
that
Cool.
has low interest rates. So
She
she's
messaged me
really
earlier.
contact. So if you're
I
on
like
that
doing these,
side
but right
of
now I don't have
wanting
time
to
for
officially
passion.
open your business,
No, I know.
start-
Remember, I saw you and
There's
then you broke your arm when you were talking about all the stuff you wanted to do.
I don't know if I'm ready
With our writing and stuff.
for that
Not-
necessarily,
I have
but I would like
years
to
until
figure
I'll
out
be
something
done doing
like
full-time work and
online,
part-time school
kind of
now,
like to so like
that
except for
way.
during the summer
What I
when I
do
don't have
is, for my
classes,
side
It's
business
3
doing
years.
stuff for myself.
Unless
This is
it's
a
a wedding,
yes.
I don't do
Part-time.
like contracts, like, once it's
I
like something
can't-
big that I know that I'm gonna be
I
charging like
can't go to
3,000,
school and
1,000,
not be making money and
That's
take
when
out
I'll go
loans. It stresses
into
me out too
the
much.
taxes
Nope.
and stuff.
I
So I've never
literally
like
left
even
University of
taken
Iowa.
pictures or anything.
Oh. Great.
Just like,
I got some lunch for you.
this is just.
I want to.
Oh,
have
you made
pictures,
it?
Mostly like nature.
I'll bring them tomorrow. I'll bring them tomorrow.
Oh, but I got like a new,
They restocked
I don't
everything.
know, I have the new iPhone, like, it says telescope.
Like 3 or 4 different flavors: fruit punch, raspberry, lemon.
But I haven't invested in. a
Yeah,
camera
I think
yet.
pink lemonade.
Well, if you invest in a camera, I highly recommend taking a
I'm
picture
taking one today and it's like.
They teach you how to
I ain't
use your
moving
camera.
to
So
I went in there
better
today and
with,
just jumped some rope.
capturing. If not, you can always learn.
I'm gonna throw this down for now.
I would say
I
better
ain't
at
getting that. I
Photoshop
just,
than anything.
I know it's
Oh,
coming
okay.
here, man. I ain't even.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a lot
Oh,
that I don't even know.
that's
about, like
Time.
Guys is right here, and then
Everything
around
I've
the
done
corner
is
is
just
the one that's just
from-
FYI.
what I just know.
I'm
But so I also do. Does anyone else?
Ashley.
Okay.
Also, I hope the social work program is gonna change within 2 years, because I
Yeah,
do
this
not
is
wanna
my
have time
first
and
time
second
coming for
internships
this.
at a different agency, so I wanna switch jobs.
Where do you work right now?
Family resources.
Same, which department?
Wait, are you Michi?
I am Mitchie.
Hi, Michi, okay.
Oh, I know, I just got the employee.
You guys
I
went
saw
together?
that, yeah.
Mhm.
What department are you in?
I'm in survivor services.
I am too, Illinois or Iowa?
Illinois.
I'm in Iowa.
Domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Same.
Man, it's a big
Who's your
organization.
supervisor?
Kristen.
Yes.
Is
that's
CC
right.
yours? CC scares me a lot more than Kristen does.
Really? Well, I haven't met any other supervisor. I like CC. I get her.
I just don't know her well enough, so
Uh-huh.
anytime she tells me to do something, it scares me a little more.
You just gotta think, she's the type of person that's direct.
Yeah,
So when she says something, she doesn't attach any like emotions to it.
yeah.
She's just like, hey, this is what you gotta do. But you can always.
I have
question
nothing against her. It's just like when she tells me to do things, it freaks me out a bit more than
Oh.
when Kristen does.
it. But she's not your. That's how I
Yeah.
feel about other supervisors.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started
We can-
and stuff. Lorraine, is she on her way? Almost here?
Yeah, or I don't know if it's in, but she said she'll be here.
I was actually thinking about after a while applying for law school, but then then they were talking about, and I don't think it's practical at all.
These
They're
are
talking
weird.
about that 4-day
I
work
have to
week,
work
and I
on
was
it.
like, I
Okay.
might go into social work, stick around and see what
Well,
happens.
see, with us, as a services, we're just doing 4 8 hours. So getting paid the same. We're
Yeah.
just missing a day. So to me, I like it. I have a lot of clients that I know. I guess.
Have you started doing it already?
I've-
On the side?
For clients? or the
Yes.
4-day
The
work.
4-day.
I'm part-time, so I
Oh.
work less hours anyway.
I didn't know they did part-time.
Oh, I know, I'm like the only one. I-
Jeff, can you hear okay?
Yeah, I can hear really good. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Right.
Good thing to know.
All right. Well, we're gonna get started because we might have a couple more coming in, but I figured we'd just like introduce each other so everyone knows everyone, you know? I think most people have introduced and everything, but I don't know about you, Jeff, because you're over there in a computer. So,
I can introduce myself. There's no problem. Just let me know.
all right, you're up first. We'll do that. We'll just go around.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my name is Jeff Wallace. I'm currently assistant professor of criminal justice at Iowa Wesleyan, and I'm also a diversity coordinator. And I think, when I first met Sam, I would say about a year and a half ago, he told me about this meeting. I hadn't had a chance to come here, but he told me about the people that I would meet and interact with, and who are motivated, different ideas, connections, and I'm all about that. So just call me Jeff, and I'll have my camera off and on, but I wanted to turn it on so you guys can see who's behind the voice. So
Cool.
Hi, Jeff.
how you doing? Now, who was that?
Hunter, you want to go?
Jeff, this is Dre.
Oh, Dre. Yeah. How you doing, Dre?
All right, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, if you want to tell a little bit about you, whatever you want anyone to know.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, you-
I work in chemicals. I make chemicals for a living. The chemicals we make is for airplanes, bridges, anything got to do with metal. It's like a ultrasound that you just rub it on the metal and you see if it cracks, if it's safety, anything like that. That's what I make for a living. Fitness guru, Sam's business partner on lawn cares and trash out. So I'm a jack of a lot of trades, but master none.
Well, hi, Dre. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Mitchie, floor is yours.
Okay, hi, I'm Mitchie. I just met a few of you already. I work at Family Resources part-time as the domestic abuse counselor advocate, so I do advocacy and counseling sessions. I'm also the program director at Girls on the Run part-time as well, and I do photography too. So, hi guys.
A lot of my photography.
Hey, I'm sorry. Did you say, okay, you're at Family Resources right now?
Yes.
All right. I worked there for about 10 years. I was just wondering.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I'm on my side.
Me too. Everyone's going.
I just started a social work program, and our professor says literally everyone has worked there in the field.
Counseling and social working.
I just had a FamRes person who's been referring, come here and give their stuff, and I'll have them present sometime too to my staff. It's cool. So, fun. So, we'll go with Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I also work at FamRes as a domestic abuse survivors advocate. I recently applied for a shelter supervisor position. Fingers crossed that I get it, because then appreciate it. I could really use help paying for my part-time master's program right now. I hate loans. They stress me out a lot, as they do everyone. My passion thing is writing. Yeah, Sam and I have been working on poetry stuff. We could use some more time to work on it, because I don't have the motivation to do stuff on my own when I'm so busy. I need someone like pushing me to get creative. Yeah, that's everything.
I'm Ashley, and I work in pharmacy. And I'm here because I want to start to try and get like my photography out there somehow.
I'm Tim, business partner also with Sam and Dre, and on the grass cuts and trash outs. I love to play video games. That's one of my weaknesses and strengths, I guess.
Final Fantasy,
I like to get out and play sand volleyball and basketball too when I can.
I'm Sam. Thank you guys all for joining us. I've met you guys all through various walks, gym, volleyball, through mutual acquaintances. Me and Nate have been doing these events now for close to about 2 years now. And like I said, we just like to get like-minded individuals together, form connections, discover new possibilities, and just, thank you guys again for joining us. You could be any place in the world, but you're here with us. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy tonight.
I'm Nate, the other partner, and well, I guess a little bit about me. I'm a marriage and family therapist. Half my job is training therapists and trying to open practices in other cities, and basically my whole sense of being is about wellness and trying to create healing and integrate it with some of the future technology in medicine, as well as talk therapy and experiential therapy. But I love people, and Sam is my people. So we created this, just a synopsis on this for people who haven't done this. We realized everyone's getting fucked up, and it's the Midwest, and all you do is drink a lot. And I think it's double or triple the amount of grocery stores, the amount of bars in the Midwest compared to other places in the country, something insane like that. So we wanted to create a place and my old man runs the Center for Teaching and Learning with the Air Force, and he had a lot of equipment and created think tanks and things like that. I'm like, well, we need to do something like this. So a lot of people who had passions, who wanted to pursue them, but were in relationships with themselves, keeping them from going to the next level. And this is a place where it's not just about business, it's about development and community and connection. So part of this is getting together and join company, but also let's get serious and hold each other accountable towards the things that we want, and solve a lot of the mental health along the way, from non-connectedness and all those other things. So that was kind of what started this. And this is like present your business, present what you're passionate about, present where you're stuck, rely on community and learn to connect so that, you know, we can find other avenues. So that's the idea and the build around this. And so basically we prioritize who is most motivated to want to present what they do. And the structure of it is we want you to talk as much as possible when one person is presenting. And when one person is presenting, you're not coming up here writing. We're actually doing the script for you. When we scribe things on the board, we write them kind of accordance to your excitement or, oh yeah, that. So when you take a picture at the end, it actually, if you study some of like linguistics, but also like writing and scribing, there's some study on, this is what I found, but the way that you write things, the excitement behind it and the passion. So we want to put things on a board and then create 2 to 3 objectives to pursue over the next at least month and follow through. We want to be consistent in actually doing that. So part of this is creating a place not just to connect, but to be vulnerable and present something that maybe you haven't before, or admitting that you have are stuck and or need connections in an area, and then what the hell can we create with it together, or can we help get you to the next place? So so me or Sam will be typically writing. I'll throw the pens at other people, but if you are presenting for like 10-15 minutes, you're sitting down, you're sharing first your idea and whatever.
Hello.
So the structure of this is whoever is going to go first, whoever really wants to do most. And you're just going to share your passion, your idea, where you're stuck, where you want to grow, or I just don't know. Here's the thing, and then that opens up to the group, not just Sam and I. I want everyone to challenge and talk as much as you can, because it's not about quality, it's about quantity. And we're getting everything here. We can pick out quantity after or quality after. And then no shaming on people, basically. No idea is shitty. Any idea is an idea. Hopefully you stay connected to people that you meet through this. So, and it's pretty intimate, so it's not really we're not doing this on a party level. We're not doing it on a grand level. This is something that's sharing and accepting and kind of making that. So I'm talking too much. Who would like to kind of present what they're doing, what they want to do, or share kind of or updating on what they have kind of started, or a journey or something they're passionate about?
Can I volunteer to like write stuff in there? Or?
Yeah.
Well, let me start since I already had been in a passion for that before.
Okay. You might have to work with that. I'll just put that board up again.
All right. Hi, my name is Lorraine, and this is my second Passion Connect since like 2 years ago, I believe, or a year ago. A year last summer. So I started my own business. Well, it's kind of an on and off thing. I started my business with the egg roll business, and that one was a really, really good. It was a good hit. It was like a lot of people wanted to order a lot of stuff, but one thing that I couldn't fulfill was the supplying of it. The demand was a lot, but the supply of it, I can't keep up with. I'm the only person that's like doing everything. I'm basically a one person business because I don't have staff or a facility to even like get started or keep that going, because I need to have a kitchen, but at the same time, I also have to keep going with making the egg rolls, which takes so much of my time because I already have a full-time job on the side, and now that I'm going to school, I used to go to school during that time too, but something for me that I quickly thought about when I started my business is it's like quick money. It's like I offer people, if they want food, they give it to me, either cash, Venmo, Cash App. I have all sorts of like payments that I take from people. So that's like a quick money for me. I bought books using that money. I use that money to like go travel to California. That's an easy money. the thing is, I wanted to keep up with it. I don't have the things that I need or resources to keep going with it. Actually, time too, honestly. Although I wanted to focus more on that, I wish I could do like part-time on my job and part-time on that business, but I couldn't because now that I have school full-time, I couldn't even keep up with it. Although I love cooking, I love serving people the things I cook, and I just couldn't do the demand anymore. Like, you know, and so one thing that helped me from the Passion Connect last year was like brainstorming a bunch of ideas of like how can I scale my business, because obviously a bunch of you guys I've known for a while, for a couple months or a year ago or something like that. So I think it helped me kind of like network people. It's like, oh, if your friend or if your family, if your mom need anything, like they want egg rolls for their party, want egg rolls for their workplace or anything like that, just let me know, and then I can try to like do it from on the spot. So that's why I have gotten from here. It's kind of like a really good network for me, because I was able to do Nate's little a dinner for Nate that one time. We had a bunch of people come in. It was a great exposure for my business, to be honest. So I thought that was like really, really helpful. And then, you know, I got busy, life happens and all that. I wish I could have done it. I had kept up with actually social media, and that's one thing we talked about. Like, we have to scale through social media. One thing that people know about and would go through a lot was seeing pictures and going through social media. Instagram was one big thing. And then I started adding Facebook through it. There's people that would start liking it. I'll send it through my friends and they'll start liking it. And there's people that would actually reach me on Instagram more than Facebook right now. And I thought about like doing other things like that, but I couldn't even keep up with that too. I wanted to probably this time, if I start over my business again, I really thought about like maybe renting a kitchen this time and really like focus from that. And I can honestly make really good money with just selling the egg rolls without even my other job, because now that I'm in school full time, I'm probably getting like less than 20 hours of work. And so with that, I can actually make more money with the egg roll business, because I can cook the egg rolls and I can cook a bunch of other foods that are people willing to pay because of what they already had experience from before. So it's not like, you know, this is the first time or anything. And then one thing that I thought about too, that we also talked about in the Passion Connect from last year, was the farmers market and the Fit Mercado. Those two things are I should have done it, but there's a lot of permit needed in the Illinois side, especially that they're gonna need to like have a food permit and then other things like a license and things like that. And I didn't have all that time and money to really put in. And farmers market was probably gonna be a good one, although I did kind of look into the competition because I know there's two other people that was selling egg rolls there. Yeah. But I didn't really care because I'm very confident with my product and I know that they're going to love this, and I know I have friends that are willing to support it. Cool. So yeah.
If we have time, do you want to present on kind of what your needs are for that?
Right now my needs would be really like staffing and basically making it. I did look up some things, like I think Uber Eats, or what was this other one? What other delivery? Grubhub. I think I looked up that you can actually add your own personal business in there, and they can do delivery. I didn't really go far into it, but I think you can actually put your own business into it, like a food business, and then have them deliver it for you, which I don't have time anymore because I'm going to school. I can't deliver all the time unless you're in the Quad City. So whatever I put on my business card, I said, just within the Quad City. And there's people that are willing to pick it up, even if they're from Eldridge or things like that. And I don't mind, but I don't like my food like sitting there in the car for a while and not having them eat it fresh. I'd rather have them eat it fresh. So yeah, I think it's one of the things with like either a food truck or a kitchen to make it and sell it right away kind of thing. And then really businesses, like going to like a business or an office to like start selling them.
So I wanted to start off, if you're going to describe, this is the first time coming here. Okay. And Jeff, of you all, whoever speaks first is going first. Who wants to kind of share from where you're at about what you want to do? So I figured first comers kind of share what they want, and then, and Lorraine, if you want to scribe for them, so put their, you broke my pen. I'm just
No,
kidding.
I
Just-
didn't.
Yeah, buy me 10 new ones. 'Cause none of them work.
What, okay, so
Um,
yeah, my business right now, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say on hold or anything, but I think my social media probably needs a little bit more of like work on, because I do need to I do need to put more pictures in there. But then, like I said, if I do, people are gonna reach out, and then I can't do it right now, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sounds like you need some additional help.
I'll tell you what, let's,
do.
if, I want for the first people who are here for the first time, I want them to present their ideas.
Yeah.
And then I want to come back to people who have been here before,
Mhm.
and I want to do an update and a status report, kind of like you did
Mhm.
just now. But when you do yours, we can kind of skip ahead to the staffing part, because that's what you're needing. So resourcing is a huge part of what we do.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess, you know, whatever is on your mind, or like, I honestly don't know. I just got out of this full-time job, or I got out of this relationship or whatever, and I'm like kind of seeking something. I don't know. Whatever it is, kind of present that. This is a place to just kind of explore and people kind of popcorn. And that's kind of
You
how
know,
we do it.
I can go ahead and get started
Cool.
if people.
All right, Jeff.
Honest, I'm not prepared for this.
That's
You're good.
Take it with you. That's this way. You don't have to fill it out.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to fill it out. But that's just this is.
Jeff, I just want to make sure everyone can hear you when you do talk.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, Ashley's up. Okay. We'll get you second.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm here because I would like to figure out what would be the best way to try to sell my photography. But I don't really know where to begin. So I need help with like ideas, and it sounds like you kind of would maybe know some ideas for me, but I have already started making like several prints up. I have mats and frames, and I kind of started going in that direction because I was thinking about trying to do the farmer's market, because I would like to do more like person-to-person selling. But then when I started doing that, the cost was a lot more than I even expected. And then I was like, I don't know if that would be the smartest move financially for me to start printing and matting, framing all on my own. And then I don't know if I'm gonna sell. So then I thought maybe I should go like with the online route. My biggest concerns would be I don't want my work to be copyright. So I'd have to come up with like hopefully a more secure way of that. And if I did any business online, basically just how am I getting paid, and like how does that work for taxes for me? But
If you
that's
mean
kind of where I'm
online,
at, but I didn't know.
you mean like Etsy or Amazon?
Yeah,
So that's what we
like I've already had like people show interest, like my friends and my family hopefully aren't just being nice to me, but they say that I have really good work. And I've even sold like some photographs just like personally, like a few like person to person. But yeah, I know that I'm really passionate about it because when I go and do it, it's kind of like my own little escape where I can just enjoy the world so much in like my photography. And I know that's something that I want to do, not necessarily as my main job, but as like a side job. I think I would really like that.
What do you photograph? Or I'm just kinda
Nature mostly, but I also put like Bible verses on my work. So I had gone to a Christian bookstore, and he actually was gonna have me put my work there, but I decided that I didn't really like the guy that was running the business, so I decided to pull out of it. So that's like the other option would be like Christian. I could go that way because I have that, I can do that. But the photography, it really can be with or without it. So if somebody wasn't wanting that on there, you could not do that.
What have you looked into so far? So you've looked into the bookstore or the
The
Christian?
bookstore was like an option, which that was actually like a Christian bookstore. But again, like it doesn't necessarily have to be that, because the photographs, obviously when I take them, don't have anything on them. It's just me adding that on there.
Bookstores might be your best way to kind of get your foot in the door. Then as you steal up from a bookstore, you
do they have those Fiji ones too?
you look
The
at something.
Fiji art stuff. I thought
Yeah.
there was like an art type of thing on the street that one time or last week.
Fairs.
Figgy?
No, it was just like it's like more of your art, anything like art.
There's
that you
fine
would
art
make.
things that
They
you
do have
post
that in
up.
Leclerc, I think.
East is having one this weekend. You might even talk to vendors there about
Yeah, there's
booths
vendors fairs, but yeah.
and get a look at competition or how people are doing certain things. And
Right. See, that's the other thing though, is like they just don't have enough product like actually printed out,
Mhm.
matted, framed, all ready to go. And like it's already like been over hundreds of dollars just to do what I've done, just to get it started.
Mhm.
So I started going to Goodwill and stuff and finding like mats and frames that I basically like refurbished, if you will, and was able like
Yeah.
some frames are like 88 cents. I had like $2. So that was like the best financial move that I've made thus far, probably for that.
Yeah.
Did you ever thought about like buying bulk on like AliExpress, or I think there's a lot of like it's like bulk stuff places where you can buy those frames or even that. I think printing wise, maybe like I said, Etsy is probably your best thing because you don't have to do anything. They just have to download it and make sure that you actually put your copyright. But like I think that's the first thing you have to do is like secure your copyright.
Yeah.
And I think you should know to actually like before you post anything on Etsy, for example, your name should be on it. Like, do you have a name for your
Well,
for your photography
it's
thing?
Works of Grace is the name that I was gonna have for my
Works of
business.
Grace?
name.
I think that was really cool.
It's my middle name, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. There. So you have like a Works of Grace photography, right?
And then for the copyright, you just do watermarks. So you create your own watermarks and put them in the image. And if you want to avoid to buying product, what you can do is get samples where you keep, and you go to the farmer's market, you go to the fairs, and you advertise it. And then based on what they want, then you create it. You get a deposit first, so you're getting your income.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to do the farmers market. I think that's my goal, or not the farmers market, but I'm not really like an online person. That's not really my vibe, but I feel like to start off with, it might be the best like financial way to go for me.
Did you ever start putting on Instagram or anything like that?
No, I haven't like really put anything on like any social media yet.
That'll be another thing, kind of market
So
yourself.
like a watermark, would that just be like even my name, or
It's
is it?
any design you want. So it's basically hidden in the image. So say someone tries to take your image and they're trying to print it at like Walgreens, Walmart, that
Right.
watermark will pop up and then basically an error will go and they can't print it. But that doesn't necessarily mean they can't screenshot it.
Mhm.
So there's that issue when it comes to
Like the online thing, basically. And like, how do you create that image? I guess.
So for that, you would have to buy an Adobe suite like Photoshop or Type Watermark. So at some point, you're gonna have to pay a membership for any photography website to create those watermarks. Like there's some free ones, but it's only so many before you have to get charged.
Okay.
Hey, I got a quick question. What are you using to edit your photographs right now?
Yeah, just my iPhone. I'm
Your
just
iPhone?
using my iPhone. I have like the newest. It's like iPhone. Well, it's not the newest one now, but iPhone 13 with the graphic lens. So it actually takes really good photos. But I would like to get a DSL eventually.
Well, I'll just to sort of throw a couple things in there. I was vacationing out in Oregon one time, and I was in a cabin. And I looked up and I saw these beautiful photographs on the Airbnb in the cabin, right? And so when I looked at them, they had $5 and $10 on there. So what I would suggest is you contact Airbnbs around here since you photograph nature, and you try to figure out whether or not they would allow you to put your photographs up there of our local area and eagles or whatever you take pictures of. And possibly when people come there and visit, they would look at it and say, if this is from this area, and there's a possibility they would buy it. I know that I bought that particular photo there.
Did really? Michael Pease has a shit ton of Airbnbs around here, and I stayed in one and I've seen another. He doesn't decorate real well. Can you write Pease up there, or Airbnb and Pease?
Yeah, and I would definitely, I mean, I'd invest in that DSL or something. And honestly, I think you're gonna find that even though you're using the camera on the phone, when you get that first one and you start editing that, and you see how far you can get out there and things like that, you'll really enjoy it. And you can get a real cheap one for like 350, 400, Canon or whatever, and just with a standard lens just to get started.
Yeah, thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah.
I'll think about that for sure.
Yeah. I do some photography and I've actually rented some of those big I think it's at Camera Corner, you can rent lenses, and I was able to go down there to the river and get photographs of the eagles, which is something that you may want to really do. So
Okay. So I was about to say, let me just show you. So this is, for example, Ashley's photo, right? Ashley, like you have that. I would say download whatever I use InShot sometimes when I have to like do something. So for your example, this is your entire picture, and you just put like your little watermark here, right across it. Ashley Grace, photography. And it's going to be right in the middle of the picture. That's probably a good watermark to start with if you're going to post something online. I think it's good for you to at least like.
Because of like them copying it would be really hard if it's in the middle.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for them in the middle. No one's gonna actually like be able to do that.
Could it be like my business name then? That I could make that.
Yeah, your works of grace photography thing, so that you can at least get people to like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. And if you start posting on Instagram, they can say like, oh, can I inquire how much this one is? And then that's when you can give them the one without this. And it's easy because you can go on some apps and you can reduce like the resolution, so it's not like high quality. So even if they try to edit it with like Adobe Photoshop or something, it'll be like, what do you call this? It'll be like really bad quality.
I think my initial goal is to basically, I'm not looking to make a lot of money, but I'm looking to get my work out there and then slowly save the money that I'm able to get so that I can make a bigger business for myself.
Pinterest and Etsy will be your best friend.
Yeah.
The greatest way to get it out is learn how to utilize Pinterest.
Etsy.
Yeah, there's all different kinds of.
Because Etsy is it free to?
They're both free, but if you're selling, it just depends.
Mhm.
But if you just want to advertise your work and then have people buy, then you can just upgrade from there. You can start out with a free account.
But
and then
me
ask
like
for it.
putting my work on that website is free or okay.
So you want to put you said your first goal is you want to put yourself out there.
Yep.
Ideas popcorn on just this, and this is kind of the objectives part. So I want you to be able to get connections, other spots. So connection number one.
Yes.
And maybe here's another, just to see, hey, have a sit down, talk about Airbnbs. What are other ways to get yourself out there?
Social media. You can post on that maybe once a week, do a post now.
A lot of people will really look at that, even on the, so you can start like, your photography Instagram, for example, and you start following people that go to church or different churches that may be interested in putting them in the churches, in their offices and things like that.
That would be really cool.
Those are the ones you want to follow because those are the ones they would like see and be interested with first things first when they see your pictures.
I was thinking about asking, but I don't know if it's possible, like asking from you if I could do an event there.
Yeah, exactly. That one too.
Again, that would probably be like later on.
Like when we have like a women's retreat or other types of conferences that we have in our church. So that's, I think, one big thing because a lot of women that we already attend our Bible studies with, they're really interested with that kind of stuff. So when you go to like a women conference, when you go to like a women's thing, you have a table out there, they can start putting Bible verses right after the conference, or you can even like talk to them and just like, hey, if you want to check out my thing, if you want to order something, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And one thing too, keychains. Keychains are really cool. They're so easy and they're little keychains like this size. They can hang it on their bag, hang it with their wallets and purses, whatever. I think those are really cool.
I'd also get in contact with the YMCA's because since they're Christian based,
Mhm.
they do have nature pictures with scriptures.
Mhm.
So that would be perfect. Just contact
I'm on the
Leo.
board at the one down here.
Yeah,
That's nice,
do a
yeah.
meeting and see if you can work with the marketing director.
Yeah.
Because they're separate CEOs, they're kind of like rivals, so just make a meeting with the marketing directors and see if you can give your photos for like exposure, or maybe they could buy. It just depends on their budgeting.
Corporate versus local, they kind of differ independently. Some I mean, it's fluid throughout the U.S., but they have. I'll talk to Frank.
And then one thing too, even if there's people that, for example, I don't want the Bible verse on it, for example, just because. But you already have copies without it.
Mhm.
You can just easily
Oh,
make a
Well, the
copy of the
original
one
copy
without it,
would
the
be the
original
one
copy
without
that
it.
will without it. So if they ever try to ask you, is it okay if I don't want the Bible verses in there? I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can really give it to them easily like that.
What would be another thing that you would need, or just kind of thinking through this, or other people, what do you think about number 2 on here? So putting yourself out there, do you feel like you have enough for that? With Stephanie Terry, she's one of my mentors who's out of Fairfield. His wife internationally sends out, and it's mainly Christian based, like kind of an escape game, kind of like go through games for them. So it could include, some of that as an advertisement. Just kind of thought about that. But anyway, anything else maybe on number 1? Or
She's got some connections we gave her, Mitchie, and Peas, along with you, and the YMCA as well. Something you can do on your own, Ashley, is maybe once a week start posting on social media.
I think she needs to get started with that. I think
Yeah.
scaling her people that can see her work first.
Exactly.
That's what she wants to do first.
And then,
Having them see it.
yeah. So you start posting, make it regularly. Maybe it's
I
Sunday.
think Instagram would probably.
That'd be great. Yeah,
the way to
Instagram
go.
is great because it's really good with visuals. Or you can download them. I think Canva.
TikTok videos,
yeah.
reels.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think you're
reels
making
are
it.
great.
Yeah. And that's all free. And that's all that's going to do is just draw attention to your page and your work. So.
You can even make collages for those flowers and stuff.
And there's community events for photographers too that meet in the Quad Cities. So you can always go one of those that are more nature based.
Yeah, I was watching some YouTube videos of like how to start your photography business online, but I was a little overwhelmed.
You just have to start. That's
Yeah,
what I did. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
just take
start.
the first
and
step.
I think
mine's
starting
just
maybe
word
with
of mouth.
Etsy sounds like a more a simpler website for me to start on, where I'm not having to put a lot of money into it to start it, because I don't want to put too much like money in, because I don't have that much money to put into it really.
how about 2? What maybe a second objective? Or is that are you good?
I mean, we could just start with that, just putting it out there more with like social media and.
Does she have to have like a?
I think I
someone to
should
talk to
definitely,
about
and
her
like, so
copyright?
getting my watermark on there.
Her watermark, not really.
Okay.
Nope,
So
you
that
can
would be
just
my
create it on your
other
own.
thing. So,
I
like,
told
can
her
actually
like
start
the
putting it.
when you really want to start actually doing like contract and really looking into it with like a lawyer is when you create that LLC or that sole proprietor. That's when I would start it. Or like I told her, when I do weddings, that's when I do my contract, my sales tax and all that stuff.
But the thing is, there's not really anything really liable for it. That's what my tax guy for me said. Like, why do you need an LLC? You don't really need an LLC for your
They
business.
see, I don't know why they do that. They always do that, but I will always advocate for an LLC. Like the Small Business Bureau over here at Western, they help you create it. Like they go literally through the taxes, so you don't have to see a lawyer, which is awesome. It's totally free. You can set up as many meetings you want, but they always advocate for sole proprietors. But when you open a business account, being a personal banker, so say you are in real estate and it's your own business and it's a sole proprietor. When you get sued, they're going after your direct funds. At least when you have an LLC, it's separated from you. So that's why I will always advocate for LLC, because I want that separate attachment from my business account. But it's up to you, it's personal. Not saying
I can
something is
consult more on that too, because I think there's just other.
Sole proprietors are super easy to make. Like you can have one in a day.
Yeah. Okay, she talked about payments too, which is like how she wants to take payments. I mean, I think I mentioned to her that she should really make an account, a business account separately, so that all of her income, either
Yeah.
like cash, credit, whatever, goes to that bank. So that whenever tax things comes in, that you have all these things kept together. You obviously want to keep all the receipts you spend whenever you.
So yeah, that's
You buy
the other thing. I
products.
don't know how that works. Like, so when I get paid on
So
like
I
Etsy,
do the 3-1 ratio, so I make sure that I can pay myself, pay for whatever product, and then pay for a replacement. So that's my thinking of how I charge, but typically right now, my photography is more of a side, so I do it more for fun and stuff. Until, because I have school and work, so it's just really busy. But it all depends on how much you think your product's worth.
Yeah. So how much do you think your product's worth? Like, how much have you been selling them with the frame and everything?
I think it was 40 and 20.
20 to $40.
And how
Is
much
it
do you
without
pay
the
for
frame?
your frames?
Well, some of them that I got like from Goodwill, those were only $1, but they looked really nice.
And how much work do you put into it? Because you also want to pay for yourself for the work that you're putting to put it together.
I mean, I do like these little days where I do photo shoots, so I'll be out there for like at least a few hours, like getting the photographs. And then, so I mean, finding the right mat, frame, cleaning it all up, making it look nice. Takes maybe half hour, like sometimes it just depends.
Half
on
an
how many
hour
I'm
per
doing.
frame?
No, like if I'm doing like a few of them, like getting them together.
I would say beware too as you monetize something. So because you are, this is something you love and enjoy.
Mhm.
Don't lose the enjoyment in it because that's what it primarily is. Secondarily, you're beginning it as a money-making business. That's awesome. You want both those things, but if your time is the expenditure of time becomes work,
Mhm.
then and you're not going to enjoy it, you lose both. So I would first work on balance. You've got plenty, list a price that's worth it, but also you're looking at target market. You're looking at target market for those types of prints, for the types of pixels, for how much people are locally paying for them, who you're looking at to buy it. And if I'm going towards churches, I'm going towards Christians, and I'm going towards moms, and I'm going towards moms who are 40 to 60.
Right.
And then I'm going to 46-year-old moms who have 4 kids. And you narrow the further you get into it. So don't quickly turn something that you love and enjoy into something that's monetarily,
Right.
Don't think too much about it on that end right now. I mean, I know you guys have an idea about
Don't
that,
let it stress out with all these
but
things.
I'm
because
just,
You've already
do what you love first.
established it. I think it's just more of like really how are you getting it out there. So I would say just like, since you're worried about the copyright, and I think that's gonna be another thing you wanna really worry about, is like get that copyright. Just download an app, get that name out there. I would say for when I started my business, I had to make a logo. You can do that. And then business cards. I think one way to get started is to have that business card, maybe
I have
background of your
downloaded
photo.
an app that I had like a business card.
Is
kinda
it
like
Avery?
sample
Is
me.
it Avery that they do business cards too?
I'm gonna take a picture.
Avery.com is where they print like a bunch of like notes and print cards and envelopes and things like that.
Just the print.
There's
Just the print, yeah, that's what I
And that too, and
I wasn't super.
Or maybe have a
concerned about, like,
catalog.
making a ton of money.
have a catalog of your stuff.
That's a good idea. A catalog.
You know, a shuttlecocks.
Business part of it.
That's a good
But
idea.
people kept telling me over and over again, your work is so good, you need to sell it, and I just kept.
Yeah,
and
I
was
told
like,
you that. I remember.
maybe I should try and make some money off of it, but it's not really about the money, really.
I think part
You
of
should have
the
a
love
catalog
for
of
it creates the quality.
Like a book, they could,
Yes.
yeah.
Because
When
then you
you
can just bring that
wait for a
anywhere.
bee, when you sit and wait for a
Yeah,
bee
it's
to like
everywhere
flick
for
its
Okay.
4th leg, you're waiting for that. No, I'm serious.
No,
If
it's
you're like
very
just
exciting.
okay, it becomes a chore. I need to get the perfect shot to make money. It's different from
Right,
I got it.
right. It is,
It's
well, when I
different,
walk away,
very
it's
different.
like,
So
it's because I was in my own little like happy world of like I got to slow down and everything else soft, and I just got to be happy with this little tiny thing.
Okay, we were just talking about catalog. Have a catalog ready for you. Every photographer has their like photos, you know?
I have like my photo shoots on my phone. There's like tons of thousands,
Those
maybe
printed
now.
and laminate them and make a catalog. Like she said, that would be tremendous help, and then that would also help since you have that to put it on Etsy, so you have two.
Jeff's up next night.
But
Yeah.
catalog is a very
Jeff.
great idea because you can bring it to churches.
Yeah, bring it to church and show it to someone.
And it's
Yeah.
something easy.
Well, that,
you can
yeah,
carry
so
with
I
you.
was gonna ask
I
you
can
if
write.
I could like do
Yeah.
some sort of event. But then the other thing is like, how much product am I gonna need right then and there?
Yeah, hello.
You know what I mean?
That's when you.
Yeah, Jeff, you're up next.
Okay. Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, first of all, that's awesome. I love that. Did you get everything that you need? Anything else that you feel like we missed that needs?
No,
Okay.
no. I think I obviously still have like some decisions to like think about or make. But yeah, that gives me a better idea on how to do a few things. Thank you so much.
You really are good, by the way. I do love
Thank you.
pictures.
Yeah, sometimes it does. I went to an art show this last weekend. It's like looking at other people's photography, and I was like suddenly feeling like, oh gosh, like.
Is that inspired you?
And yeah.
Intimidate?
Well, yeah, but no, in a good way, because then I was like looking at their work and I was like, how are they getting this lighting? And then it was making me think like, how can I like not
Yes.
copy their work, but how can I improve? their work?
Talk to the people that are already doing
I
what they're
do.
doing.
Do you guys have, like,
A lot of people think like, and that's the whole space here is,
So, like,
some people last year came in like, I don't want people to steal my idea. But, you know, we want to create, there's plenty of people wanting photography, there's plenty of people wanting therapy.
Jeff, whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt or anything. So
Can
can you hear me?
Jeff.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, yeah. So, for me, you know, I've been doing public speaking for quite a few years, and pretty much what I've been trying to do for the last 3 or 4 years is to ultimately move into that full time. And part of and actually I do book a lot of different engagements and stuff like that. I mean, I've done a couple TED Talks and so I really have put a lot of effort, energy, and a lot of work and a lot of what do they call it, the 10,000 hours into this particular skill that I've been trying to hone. And so for me, what I've been trying to do is take my conversations, my interactions, and the different things that I discuss, things I've learned along the way in my life. And while I talk about them, I'm trying to put them in a book. And so what I've been trying, and also present different sort of toolkits that I've sort of developed over the years that I also present at these different speaking engagements that I go to. And so that's where I'm kind of at. I'm trying to get that. That's one thing I'm trying to do. And the second part is to push my consulting business that I have been working on for the last maybe 4 or 5 years as well, a little bit further, dealing with social services, corrections, a little bit of everything. And so, I've gotten a lot of different, conversations, but I need to really figure out a plan to execute that's going to land me the ability to connect with someone that can really help pull out and collaborate with me on a book, pamphlets that I can present at these different speaking engagements. The last one I just did was at the Iowa Correctional Conference in Honey Creek Resort like last week. And while I've sort of and with the consulting, what I've been looking at is that for the last, I'd say 20 years, I've worked in some level or another of social services. And so the idea that I have is that for the last 3 years, I worked for the state of Iowa at actually licensing and regulating psychiatric units, detention centers, a little bit of everything, adoption agency. So I want to now move into taking that knowledge now that I'm working for the school and I don't have a conflict of interest into being into working and being a consultant for a lot of these different organizations in Iowa. I have things going on in other states, but I want to, I'm from Iowa, so I want to be in Iowa doing this. And that's it. That is my 50,000-foot view of my dream.
Cool.
Nice. All right. Anybody have anything they want to?
Do you know Chris Craves?
No, I don't.
Chris Crave runs the TED Talk Davenport. She's with the chamber. Can you put Chris CRISS Craves next to TED Talks? That might be getting into the Iowa side. CRISS. Sorry.
Did it change? Did it change for Chris? I did one, and I did a TEDx Davenport once.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, but I did it in the first year or second year.
So it might be someone different now.
Okay, but I'll connect with Chris. Chris Craves.
Craves.
From the South community, from the community college, right?
I don't know. I don't know her well enough.
Brown hair. Yep. But I'll get a hold of her though. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue to do TED Talks then? Is that going to be a recurring thing?
No, I've done the two. And my whole thing now is sort of like one of the things I really push is trauma-informed care. And one of the things I've been pushing is after we understand and know, trauma and we understand what it is, and we've administered all the ACE studies and the test and what comes after that. And so what I've been building on is the idea that in order to maintain the level of resiliency that we sort of, we learn and we sort of help others get is the ability to thrive on that resiliency. So that's going to take place at more levels than just on the stage of, the TEDx events. That's going to take place in the classrooms that I'm now teaching. That's going to take place, and this is what I'm looking at this, a lot of the institutions that honestly I lived at when I was a kid as well, and a lot of different places. So that's why I'm trying to push out a lot of this to a lot of the different facilities and a lot of different places in Iowa.
This is in Iowa. This is on the other side of the river. But do you know Jim Estes by chance? He's a psychologist in the prison, and he created a lot of the programs there.
Okay. Which prison is that?
I forgot. I don't know.
He's in.
East.
Is it Dubuque? Not Dubuque.
It's east.
Is it Macomb?
No. It's east.
Illinois.
It's east.
It's near the place that has the train
It's East
station.
Moline. Yeah.
No, I thought he.
Galesburg?
Maybe he.
No, East Moline Correctional.
Oh, East Moline Correctional.
They made him they said basically create this program. Probably.
He was working in Galesburg for a while. Like he had a long.
Yeah, that's.
Did he move over?
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Anyway, he's a good connection. He's a psychologist. He's our rugby coach.
Yeah, I was gonna say this from rugby.
And he and his wife is an MFT. I train therapists. That's what I do. So I'm with you on the trauma informed part. And yeah, I guess what do you on a grand scale? What do you want? I guess sense of grand purpose for you here.
The grand purpose is is ultimately, I believe that as we connect, interact with people, we sort of give them a little bit of ourselves. So my goal is to give other people unselfishly things I've learned and a little bit of who I am, so I can learn more about who they are, and we can just sort of give to each other. And the order for me to do that, that's going to take me basically being able to travel and connect and talk with people and be available for them. So my sort of strategic plan is, as I've tried to book things out, is at some point, once I book 6 months of different speaking engagements and stuff like that, to just go ahead, and my ultimate goal is to be done with working for anybody other than the people that I'm connecting with and their families and stuff. So.
Awesome.
How you get to that point?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. I don't know. It sounds like you have a lot of experience with mental health facilities in Iowa, and myself, along with some of my clients, have had experiences with people like parents forcibly institutionalizing us. And if you have any recommendations with how to deal with parents who just aren't using.
Say it again.
I don't know if you could talk about that ever in whatever you're writing, but it just, I don't even know what's going on with that. I have so many questions.
What is your niche? If you were to write a book and you want to, and if you're doing, you've booked out 6 engagements, what is the string thread through each of those that you're talking about?
Right. All right. So, has anyone heard of the Gus Chronicles before?
Mm-mm.
All right, so the Gus Chronicles is okay. So then I'll say this is what I'm looking at trying to do.
Gus Chronicles.
As far as the literary part is, I want to talk about. I want to give different point of views in each book. So, for example, to work, you guys have worked in this field, right? And so I want to be able to provide a book with a view of what it looks like in. I don't know, from a child point of view, as far as dealing with trauma, to the adult who's working with the kid, to the person who is receiving that kid or that family member, to, from different perspectives, as far as like different guides and different viewpoints. And I mentioned the Gus Chronicles is because it's one of the first books I read years ago, where it gave for people who worked in residential the idea of what a kid goes through when he goes through different aspects of first arriving at a facility, to the first restraint, to being secluded, to having a visit, and the list goes on, but from their perspective. So my idea was, if there's some way to create somewhat of a perspective for also the professional worker in that field, to the family member who's connected with that person in the field, and writing it from multi-dimensional levels of working with youth and families, then what we're able to do is exchange those experiences and those ideas.
I literally was just talking to this with a couple of different people in different states, actually. VR is becoming really big. My old man just bought 25 of them, and they do combat training with that. I mean, I'm in the world of PTSD, and some people are too dissociated to get it out of any trauma. I mean, you know this. So part of this could be, it's hard to get people who are stuck in insight into experience. If I'm reading a book, you have to be engaged in the book and not have basically distraction. You have to really get into it. VR could create the experience of a child who is abused in some way, so that a parent puts that on. They're also traumatized. So this is like, I'm not just saying, but this could be something you utilize as an experiential process rather than, here's the story of this child. You have to be connected in some way to it. VR, drops down a whole reality. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and not reality, other than like, I know this isn't real, but that knowing isn't necessarily keeping your body from experiencing or staying in something that is.
Is that trauma bonding?
There's a lot to it. Trauma bond is a specific term related to, I think. Part of it is shocking someone out of a perspective of experience to see it from a child's perspective. If I'm a parent just hitting a kid who came up to tap me on the shoulder, right? What do you do when a kid comes up to you and they kind of push you and start punching you? Do you like push them back? Do you walk away? The right response is to get back down on, in your knees and hey, what's going on, right? What's going on, right? Not everyone knows that, The experiential part of shocking someone out of a system could be using VR to kind of create a program that runs it from the perspective of a child.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So anyway, that a lot to say. That's something I actually talked about doing, and I have a script writer too for that.
So what would be some good objectives for Jeff? A draft of your book, one of your books, is that something you have in the works?
No, I mean, well, then that's the part of it. It's sort of like I know my own limitations, and I also know what I'm good at, right? And one thing I'm not good at is being able to. I can outline it, but from there, I need a sort of someone who's good at literary landscaping to sort of push it through the next level of being able to expand on that. Do you know what I mean? And so it's kind of got the material, Huh?
I was a English and literature and creative writing major in college.
Katie volunteers.
If you need like an editor or someone to just help you get started, get the ball rolling. I also know confidentiality
Sorry?
all these experiences, and it's not like you can just refer to every single one of them. But
Yeah, and also trying to narrow it down because for people who think a lot about a lot of different things and what have you, sometimes it's hard to get that 50,000-foot view down to that landscape that's manageable for people to follow along with. So, and what is your name again?
Katie.
Katie, okay.
And I'm also reading for my social work class a really interesting like non-fictional take on evictions, like poverty and profit in the American city. It's just called Evicted, but it's a good example of like non-fiction creative writing meets journalism. If that's something you're interested in, like if that's the direction you're looking into going towards, it's a good example to get like ideas from.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm looking at trying to do is, like I said, my next I can't remember my next engagement, but the next thing I have coming up, I want to be able to leave them with something physical. So for example, I came up with a toolkit that lets them to let people who work in the field, because a lot of times that's what I'm talking to, people who work in the field and deal with vicarious trauma, deal with first responder trauma, and trying to leave them with a toolkit that they can look at, they can feel, and they can touch, that talks about ways they can do that I use that helps me maintain and sort of show up as my best version each day that I'm working with people. Even for me now is going in front of classes and needing to show up, as my best every day instead of exhausted, right? So I appreciate that. So I don't know, my point is I don't know exactly the full route, but I know that there's a route that needs to go. And I just know that I'm reaching out to sort of try to figure out if someone has a better expertise on how to narrow that down. That would be great. Because I'm, but I appreciate that though, Katie. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Narrowing down the book, the editing part, is that what you mean? Sorry.
No. Please ask questions. No, narrowing down all the thoughts and all the ideas that I have that can be broken down in a lot of different ways that can be put into manageable, easily digestible parts that connect with people's, lives on whatever aspect they're looking at it, because the idea honestly was also one of the reasons why I'm working, that I'm wanting to do this as far as working with different facilities is also because the idea is to get this in there so that when a kid is in a facility or he's in some place or sitting in a waiting room, or a parent is, they can pick this up or they can read it and say, I get it, I'm validated, which is everything, right? And the idea that that someone else went through it or has went through it from their perspective. So that's another reason. And so I was thinking that because, I did so much licensing, that would allow me to understand what they're kind of up against too, from someone who's an administrative and who has to deal with all these regulations and expectations.
Cool. Yeah, are you looking into even maybe like mentorship and things like that, or not on?
I do that now. I do all that now. Yeah. Anybody that I've had a lot when I worked at Family Resources. A lot of the people that I ended up hiring went on to become police officers, detectives, juvenile court officers, everything you can imagine. I still connect with them now. And I'm of the belief that regardless who I'm, working with or talking to, if they have something that I can learn from, I'm going to create and make them my mentor, whoever they are. It doesn't really matter, and be a mentor for them. But yeah, but I do it now all the time. Yep.
Can you ask him if he knows T from Family Resources?
Do you know T?
Yeah, I know T. LaSure.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, she'd be
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I also used to run the program Impact that had took all the kids in the alternative to detention program for like 3 years too. So a lot of, and I used to have T come down there and she did her thing with the survivors of violence stuff.
when I was at my last job, I hired a Leanne who did marriage and family therapy.
Say it again.
Did you ever know a Leanne? Actually, she
Is that the tall? Is the tall Leanne, or is which Leanne is that?
that you were applying for? Sorry,
Oh,
never mind. Shelter supervisor. She was this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, my most I would say about 3-4 months ago, I used to license family resource too.
Nice.
So you're not the supervisor? I thought there was a
Cool.
question.
Anything else for Jeff? Do we have objectives?
I wasn't.
I know it's a big plate. But anything will help, huh? And it sounds like, and I appreciate Katie offering her editing skills. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, I know there's a lot there.
I would say finding some way to narrow down. He's wanting to narrow down. You're looking get more from visionary down to wording and practicality, or what's it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good way of saying it. Yeah.
There are visionaries, and then there are people that help you bring out of the clouds so you can,
Make
you
it digestible.
You got to practically move that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You send over an outline, I can help you organize.
Sounds good. And that's I think you're on that email. Okay.
Yeah. Can you just write Katie up there, and we'll give you Katie's info.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know I took a picture of your stuff too, Ashley. I'm going to give you P's contact and Frank's with the YMCA corporate communication outreach and that sort of deal too. Cool. All right. Cool. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Takers.
I guess I had one more question for you. Do you like what type of events, if I were hosting an event, because I created kind of an event space and I run, like a group and things like that. So I'm wondering what type of speaking do you do? What would you call it?
I call them learning exchanges. I don't like to call them speeches. I don't like to call them motivational.
Yeah.
I like to call them learning exchanges because every time I interact, it's very interactional. And
Okay.
as much as they learn from me. So the last one that I did at Honey Creek was titled Leadership, Resiliency, and Redemption. And
Okay.
so it describes lessons I learned along the way about leadership and about how I live redemptively now versus in the past, and how I became resilient so I could thrive. And then I provided that toolkit that shows people in that field of probation officers, correction officers, wardens, sort of how to navigate that world and show up in their best version. But on a second note, for you're dealing with a lot of military, right?
I don't really do a lot of military. I just have connections with the military, but I have connections in a lot of different places, I guess, kind of. But
the reason why I ask is because I just did a podcast for a lady by the name of Doc Spranger, and she's actually created. Well, she's spearheading a revolutionary technique to deal with PTSD that involves injecting something into the back part of the brain, and it's a local anesthesia.
Huh, cool. Is it ketamine?
No, it's not. It's literally a local anesthetic, and mostly she's been working with war veterans.
Huh, interesting.
And she just put out a book called Relentless. What was the name of the book? Relentless Leadership about what is it called? Yeah, Relentless Leadership. She's on the best Spranger. Best list and everything. But she does a lot of different stuff dealing Relentless Courage.
That's cool.
About first responder trauma.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be interested. What's her name?
Her name is Doc Spranger, and DOCShaunaSpranger.com. And if you go on there, you'll see all the different things that she does, and you'll also be able to see a couple of her books on there, testimonials. And she works with this organization out of Chicago I don't remember the name of it. Stella. It's called Stella.
And it's not something
Huh.
And Stella is the company that's been doing it because, you know, I deal with PTSD myself, and they offered to give it to me for free because of my my work with them on some other things. So,
Very cool. Well, I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. That stuff that VR experience you're talking about is that's unique.
Yeah, I hope it helps.
Jeff, we'll get you Caitlin's contact information.
Good.
Anybody else contact information that you need here?
She had
Yeah.
no one to rely on besides her family, and
Which is also badly a bad thing, or what? Her family was also not supportive, or
I mean, they were there for it, but they couldn't pull her away from it. They couldn't explain no contact orders to her. They couldn't tell her what to write.
All right.
She
I
got
mean, your name is on the I'm sorry, you're on the I got an email from you, didn't I?
Yeah, I sent psychology today. I saw you pop up in the waiting room that I had.
so many, like,
And then I was about to add you in, but then you jumped over to Zoom, so that worked out. But yeah, that was from me. That's my email address.
Okay, because I was looking at it like, man, is this some type of spam or something? I didn't know.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No. I do a lot of teletherapy sessions through psychology today, and
you're LMS. What are you?
I'm a marriage and family therapist.
Where'd you graduate from?
Lipscomb University in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got my master's in like 2012, 2014.
Okay.
Came up here in 2017, but yeah, I lived all over Alaska, Philippines, Nashville, Alabama.
Okay, and this is your company here, AMFT.
So WMFT is an international accrediting body, and I'm a WMFT approved supervisor. So I train therapists here and kind of all throughout Iowa and internationally.
I always recommend if they have someone who lives on
But the location we're at is in one of the offices that I have, and I'll give a little blurb about what I'm doing too.
Cool, thank you.
Let's stay connected.
All right.
I need.
This is Tim again. On my spare time, I like to play video games. I'm actually into like trying to get big on being a video game streamer. I have a YouTube channel, which I started out with like 6 subscribers. I now have 30. So I'm making some leeway, but I'm trying to figure out other outlets that I could go to like make it even bigger than what it is right now, because I am very good at Call of Duty.
What is
Yeah.
that gamer stream like called where you're gaming online?
Twitch, that's one. I would have to get a camera for my PS5. I just can't afford that. But on my YouTube, I mean, I can speak. People can hear me. We're usually in groups of 6. We actually have a clan. We're actually ranked 87 out of like 730,000 clans around the world.
Holy shit.
So we're really good.
nice.
But yeah, I'm just trying to find other avenues to get that out there to where I could really start collecting some dough on it.
How much is like camera and Twitch? How much is that startup looking?
I think the PS5 cameras are actually cheaper than what the PS4. When the PS4 cameras came out, I think they were like $99.99. I think the PS5s are actually $50.
So that's all you need is a camera
to do Twitch.
to do that. And then, so if you have a camera, you can Twitch.
Do you already have a YouTube account for that set up?
I do. It's the Buildings All Caps channel.
So are you trying to make money off of doing that? Do you already or not yet? Not
No,
already.
not yet.
So what have you invested into it so far?
Well, I created a YouTube channel. That took a lot. But I'm actually pretty smart when it comes to like electronics and stuff. So like
How
cameras.
consistent are you in posting?
I try and post every day. I did not play any video games today. Did not play, or actually, yeah, I did play a little bit yesterday for like 30 minutes. But Usually when I'm on, I'm wrecking house.
Well, that's good. But I think I've seen a couple of those type of YouTubers and things like that. I mean, obviously you have to be really good at it. And then I think you have to have a target. Obviously, what kind of people are you targeting? Are you targeting only like a certain age of people that you want to really be with? I think you got to start with actually making known that you're out, like you're out there for people to watch. Because I mean, you don't have the camera yet, but maybe if you start recording through your camera with at least a better quality
Or even on my phone.
on your phone. Yeah, that's what I meant. What I meant, and then start posting reels about it, or Instagram or Snapchats, following certain peoples that have done it.
I got a
Maybe,
buddy
like,
named Chuck. He
TikToks.
actually told me about you can buy this thing for your phone.
Mhm.
It's like a PS5 controller, and you can actually stream
Mhm.
and play the game while you're streaming.
Very cool.
So
Do you have like certain peoples too have a niche for it? Like they have a certain thing. Like for example, they're always in a costume while they're playing.
yeah, I'm the Terminator right now on Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm the Terminator.
Like, are you dressed up as an actual Terminator? Like,
Yeah,
Your
like,
avatar, or are you?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, shades, the whole fit? Yeah, the leather
Those are
jacket.
something that catch people.
Not the avatar, not your avatar.
Oh,
Physically, are you dressed up as a Terminator? Not your
no,
character?
no.
No, you act like that.
What is it about you that's
Not
going
you,
to
not
get?
you.
Yeah, what is it about you that's going to get your audience, right?
Right.
It's funny because like I don't know.
I feel like, for me, I feel like I'm funny. People love it when I come into lobbies because I bring a lot of positive energy.
Okay.
I'm not down in people. If they're having a bad day, I try and lift them up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's also the ways where you can start like, I don't know. It's like example like a TED Talk, but for example in the actual game thing. You know, you're talking to your friends, but instead of like talking game stuff all the time, you can be talking about like positive things and like quotes and things, and or maybe there's a quote right in the bottom of your screen, and this is for like today that people can like look forward to, or like don't give up, you got this kind of thing. Those kind of quotes that would maybe look for people to look forward to seeing you every day because you want audience, right?
I mean, I kind of am like in the clan, like a pillar, because like I talk to people in the clan about other stuff, not just like game stuff, but like stuff they deal with on like a daily basis type thing. But also like I try and like raise their spirits. I'm the one leading the team for the charge. Like, come on guys, get it together. Like stuff like that. Sometimes I may tell the other team like, great job, don't give up, to make them want to try harder. So
How many people in your clan?
we have like 87 people in our clan.
87 people. Have you guys met each other? Do you guys like have a meet up? like that?
I've met one of my friends that I play with online in Chicago.
So you guys are all over.
Yeah, I have friends in Texas, Atlanta, Florida, Canada.
Okay. So are you gonna do this as a thing where you're attached to the clan, or are you doing this YouTube thing or Twitch thing all by yourself? Because if you're gonna do this by yourself, the clan thing can't be involved. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If not, you're gonna have to keep getting them involved in some things for people to cover. Like, okay, where's the other ones? You know, why does it say your name in there, but then like the name of the clan, but then the people are not there but yourself. You know, you have to decide if it's gonna be just you yourself that you want to be in out there, or you want to include the people that you're gonna be. But then you have to keep up with, make sure they participate too, and make sure that they keep up with like showing up on your videos.
Yeah, I actually do, like within the clan, like Chuck, me and him both kind of subscribe to each other's YouTube channel. Like I chime in on his videos sometimes when he's live. Sometimes they'll get a hold of me if I'm not online, but like we do like associate with each other.
So is TikTok free?
Yeah,
TikTok's free.
So
For
you
the
can start-
video game, do you guys have a chat screen where you guys chat, like a chat box?
Yeah, we can have our own chat group. Yeah.
Is it always like going with like your clan, like everyone is always posting?
Chuck is one of the people that post stuff, and I think one other guy in the clan, they post videos, but like,
Is it on? It's on the game, or is it like separate? It's like a Discord or something. Do you guys have a separate text thingy where you guys can always text?
well, Chuck has his own. He calls his Chuck's gaming channel, but like, he actually has a camera to where you can see him as a person.
How do you know if they're online? Do you have to go online and check, or can you just?
You'll get a notification on your phone if they've posted a video or like if they're live right now.
Because I know there's those YouTube channels where they're playing video games and they're streaming and they have the chat box up and like they just basically play the game and respond to people.
Or have like maybe like a back layout or something.
Yeah.
Like green
If you're a really
lot of
good
guys are into
interactor,
that.
especially if people are asking for your accent
my Australian
and
accent.
and you're dressing
That
up.
could be your niche.
I could be like
Aussie
the crocodile
Tim or
gun
something.
in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's every time to buy a costume.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to
Halloween.
have like your own character that people are gonna be like looking forward to seeing every time because you can't be just like all the other YouTubers because there's so many of them out there.
Yeah, there
Everyone wants to be a YouTuber, but then what is gonna separate you from all those other people that they're gonna look forward to watching you every time? Not just about the game because boring games can get boring, but at the same time they want to see who you are as a character, as a person, or whatever, you know, or what you're trying to be to portray to them.
You are your brand for sure. Mhm.
Sometimes I do talk some crap to people if they deserve it.
If
Well,
you're good
there's
at
that-
being positive energy,
And I
What I
I've
don't-
seen you. Oh,
I normally
Jeff is
say-
saying something. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm all the way over here in the electronic world, but I've seen people do backgrounds of their video games they're playing and they're streaming, and they're doing reaction videos, talking about different things while they're doing the video games. Matter of fact, Destiny is one guy that does that, and I just thought that was pretty cool to take two things that people really love on YouTube, which are reaction videos and video games, use it as the background, and then react to stuff going on. You know.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
We say reaction videos.
Yeah.
Is that something you can start right now?
Remember when Five Bros tried
Yeah.
to copyright
Oh,
reacting to things?
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Wow.
They invented the reaction.
So yeah, Tim, if you like being funny too, you can make memes of yourself and post it on your maybe like an Instagram, Twitch account.
Okay.
You know.
What is
A lot
gonna
of these
be
things
your-
are things or steps and objectives you can take right now and start. So that's
What's keeping you from doing this already? Because I'm sure you've seen people do this. You know, what's keeping you kind of from diving in head first on doing something? Any
I
barriers?
feel like I'm very competitive on a game. Like I feel like maybe that might be something that's kind of holding me back a little bit because I don't like to lose, even though I know you can lose sometimes. So
So you might lose yourself if you were live, and you wouldn't want that.
I don't think I would lose myself.
Or just do something.
I just
reacting you don't want.
sometimes I guess I worry about people because there's actually, believe it or not, there's actually a lot of racist people that play video games too.
There's a lot of racist people that are just in existence.
Yeah.
So
There's always gonna be people that are gonna do that. But that gets you attention.
It does.
You know,
I
just
have-
like you have to ignore those people because there's people that would do that. But hey, you're actually getting attention from those kind of people.
And they're the ones giving you the money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Giving you the views, right?
Yeah.
See, because they were the one who watched you. Just to
They
criticize
keep
you.
coming back to reply.
There was one game I had that me and this guy, we were on the same team. We literally got into a yelling match. He was talking a lot of crap and I just wasn't having it. And I told him at the end of the game, because I got the game winning kill cam, I said, get your game up, bro. Get your game up, bro.
mhm. Do you want those things kind of up in front? Do you want it to be a
I feel like
platform
when I
where
argue with
it's
people,
kind
I
of
feel like more people watch it though.
seeing some?
People love
It is.
drama.
Mhm.
Yeah.
think the only thing you can control is how you react to people. Even if you become like famous, for example, there's always gonna be people that will bring you down, but what you react to is what's gonna get these people. You know what I mean? Like you're there for a reason, but at the same time, reacting is, you know, you don't want to go down that level. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's what helped you get there, to be a better person. You know, you don't lose yourself because someone reacted and said something really, really mean.
I have before, like, somebody will say something really mean, like, you guys suck, and I'll be like, good game. Good game.
I mean, you can advocate for positive reaction instead of just like reacting in a negative way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something you need to do, is to like just ignore those haters and drama.
Definitely make sure you have the mentality for it, because like she said, there's always gonna be that person that's gonna speak negativity, and that can put a toll on your mental health. So just make sure you have the right mindset.
Yeah.
So the only thing you missing, you saying, is the camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get that camera, it's gonna take you to another level.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you ever look up like used ones? Used ones, maybe Facebook Marketplace?
I was gonna say there's that game store, Electronic Boutique over there.
Yeah. I do have, I'm a GameStop member, so I get $5 off a month. Merchandise.
So you ready now?
Huh?
You ready now?
You think you're ready now?
If you ready now,
To get the camera?
I got you. For the camera.
I'll go in on it too.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm ready.
you ready?
I'm
All
ready.
right.
I'm ready.
All right. Good.
Once you start that, you better make sure that you have to be consistent. People love to be, you want to be consistent, posting things.
Yes, at least some videos every day.
You know,
Because they say for YouTube, you get more views like if you post every day.
right,
Make sure you have trending headlines too.
right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharing
Can you write
links.
that, Sam? Trending headlines real quick?
And hashtags.
Yeah. Get those down because those are
Sharing your
important to
links
know.
people, getting your links out
The
there.
latest game sponsorships, maybe.
You can actually share your games through like
That's more
Snapchat
views.
and stuff too, like your
Right.
channel.
Oh, yeah, sweet. Just don't go buy no $1,000 camera.
No, like I said, I think the
Can't afford that.
PS5s are really actually cheaper than the PS4s. They were $99.99 when they first came out. So they're reasonable
No,
for generation.
$50, I think.
$50, $99.
They're 50 now.
I got you.
Yeah, $50 would probably get you to a good, you know,
It's
Twitch
the
account.
PS5 camera.
PS5.
Yep. And a lot of people are jealous because I have a PS5.
There you go.
Well, that's your investment for sure. So
Yeah.
make sure you really do good at that. You know, you have to have a good background, quality camera, right? That's what we're trying to get. But you gotta have a good background. Don't go in a crappy place. You gotta post. Don't post some on a certain time too that people are gonna expect. Oh, he's about to post another video. Let's say 9 p.m. tonight or something. You know,
Yeah.
people are look forward to that kind of like routine schedule type thing. You know, and if you do, you gotta just keep in touch like with your people. Like next video will be up at this time. Next video will be up tomorrow.
Yeah, some people schedule posts in advance. You'll see, you'll get the alert that they have the videos not going to post for a day or two at this time. And that's when they built that following too. So they already know people are going to watch the video when it comes out. So that's
That'd
what
be good to pre-record them in case you can do more like work in one day, then you have something to post the next day.
And that's and right now, like without the camera, you can actually pre-record up to an hour of gameplay on the PlayStation 5.
I'm doing that.
So maybe like any software or lighting that you'd need other than the camera on top of that.
Lamp or something.
You can just go to Five Below and get like a
The
light
circle
for
lamp.
$5.
Five Below, yeah, they have
Five
that.
Below has those like lamps.
I go there with my three girls.
It becomes a lot
It gets like $45 every time. I'm like, just one thing.
Maybe
Should be
like $5.50 or
Yeah.
something.
$1.
Yeah, like those selfie lamps or
Yeah.
selfie things.
Those the range,
It doesn't
right?
matter. It's some lighting to keep them like good quality cameras are also, like I said, that's the thing you need.
But if you just need that camera to start you off, and just get that camera, then everything else will fall in line.
Right.
Cool.
Just some action figures to put in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How many hours do you play, like, if you do post it on YouTube?
Sometimes I play for a few hours.
See, that's what.
Sometimes
How many hours
sometimes
do you
I've
play?
played for 10 plus.
Eventually, you'll probably.
I've got some props I can give you. I've got some weaponry from all the Final Fantasies.
Dude,
I can't even hold
Dude.
some of the weapons up because it's like it
you
takes
have Oron sword?
not Oron. I have not Titus. Final Fantasy 7. I have the Buster Sword, and I have one of the gun blades from Final Fantasy 8.
I know they have the gun blades from Final Fantasy 13 too with lightning on it.
I don't have any of those. It's too new for me.
She actually calls her Aeon as like Odin.
Yep, I do remember that.
Yep. Pretty cool.
But they're very heavy, and yeah, you can just have them.
You need a video game room, like you have set up and everything.
Dude, to design a video game room?
Well,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Well, he's gonna need
Write that on
one.
there. Design a fucking video game room. Alright, so good.
You have it set up and everything.
Yeah.
It's not for me or
Count me in.
gamer room.
I already have like steel cases from like Final Fantasy 13. Final
Anybody else have
Fantasy.
anything else?
Cool.
All right.
Sorry, my
Cool.
favorite sister is
Thanks,
missing.
Tim.
Oh, you're good.
You have a favorite sister?
Oh, I absolutely do, and I tell all of them. They know.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to come out. I think I'm just gonna invest in a smart board.
A little water, I think. A little squirt bottle.
Full score bottle actually might be
A little
helpful.
squirt bottle.
Actually, there's some hemp Z over there.
Wrap this up. Unless anybody else wants to present, but
Yeah.
I think we're in good shape. And again, thank you all for joining us. We
Just want to
appreciate
remind everyone Spanish classes on Sunday for anyone who's interested. It's a way to learn something new.
This
and keep
Sunday?
it fresh.
Trying to learn some
Yeah.
Oh,
I took
yeah.
2 Spanish classes in high school.
Oh, you got something to start with.
When I get drunk, I can actually I say a lot of words I don't know what they mean,
Mhm.
but they're actual words. I don't conjugate well at all.
I know a little Swahili and Korean.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. All you travel people
I
here.
refuse to learn Spanish
That's fair.
because then people are gonna think I'm Mexican.
Oh,
I'm not Mexican.
Hey, I grew up in Alabama,
Yeah, I got it.
and I was either Indian or
They just
Mexican
start
to
talking-
everyone.
Yeah, all the time. Every time I go to Mercado.
Yeah.
and
I'm like,
just
okay.
No hablo
cool.
español, lo siento. And they're like,
I love the representation
And
of
I'm like,
Filipino, mixed Filipino,
yes.
full blood milk Filipino.
You're
I got
full blood?
Filipino in my
I'm-
family.
I'm like 40%.
I'm a hybrid. I'm like.
Jeff, we're
I'm
gonna
7 different
wrap
things,
things
so I'm
up.
like
Yeah.
majority.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been
Hey,
to
Jeff.
a Filipino restaurant, Yoshi's?
Yoshi's, I've been meaning to go to, and right when it came out, it doesn't have vegetarian stuff, so stuff won't.
There's some
Even if you-
vegetarian stuff.
I called when it first, like the same day it
Have
opened.
it
I
on
was
mute. Hey, when is the next one gonna be?
We haven't planned a date yet.
Okay.
Probably do one next month.
Come up there this time.
over.
Next time.
Yeah,
We'll definitely do one.
we gotta
next
plan
time.
it
Showing
outside
up
though.
here and remembering what I said I
And
would
that
do
was kind
last time and realizing I haven't done it makes me.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great day. Okay.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thanks, Jeff.
No problem. It was great to be here. Nice meeting everybody.
Cool. Yeah, you too.
Absolutely.
And I get frustrated and I give up.
Yeah, you send me that,
Uh,
send me that link.